So I'm doing a structural lift with concrete polyfoam injection for a garage that has been displaced due to root intrusion coming from a monster tree. Now, unfortunately, I didn't know it when I came in on this originally what caused this. I thought it was displacement due to cavities under the ground because the customer didn't have trees on their property. But then I looked in the yard and I found these root systems in the back of the garage. And these started to give me some red flags. So, in terms of what you need to do when lifting a garage, lifting walls, my concerns were trying to dig into this backyard. I knew if I brought an excavator out here, unless it was extremely heavy duty, in which case I would tear her entire yard up, and this was just going to get more and more costly the further I went, that I would end up trying to dig through an impermeable barrier of roots straight through all of the surrounding soil. So I'm no longer digging through soil, I'm digging through 4 layers of thick root structure around this entire side of the garage. That's a dead stop immediately. I have a massive thick wall for the foundation footing. I don't know how else to describe it because it is a beast. That now I have to go through the wonderful effort of rerouting, filling my hole with a base of concrete, using bricks, jacks, and a 4x4. Her siding has been dry rotted slightly, so unfortunately that's not coming off easily. So unless I want to tear off her siding and charge her for a brand new vinyl siding job, which I do not want to charge my customer more money for if I don't have to, I'm going to take my Sawzall and cut a line straight down on this side to fit my 4x4 right against the inside post. I'm going to mount it to it with lag bolts. I'm going to jack up from the ground to take the weight of the wall off of the concrete slab and the roof. And while I do that, I'll then have a structurally straight wall. I'm going to take my concrete saw to show you the displacement I'm dealing with right now. All the way across. And 20 feet long. 15 to 18 feet long. I think it is from the crack. All the way to the side, about 8 feet wide. And I have to lift this with this wall that you can tell clearly. I can keep my phone straight here. From one side to the other, you can quite clearly see how that bow at the very top beam right there, just below the lights, starts to curve down as there's a wider gap on the right than there is on the left. Sinking from that corner down and lifting it from this corner up. I have cut away the section of concrete and separated the 2 pieces, and what that has done now is allowed the cavity underneath the concrete. As I dug the hole in the back, unfortunately it's extremely thick, wet clay soil holding these foundation footings in the ground. Me trying to jack this up with polyfoam, I would have had to double the amount of structural weight that it was intended to lift, given the fact that that clay soil is so wet, it's going to hold this solid. So my only option is separate the slab and cut along the inside edges with my concrete saw. Once I get the garage cleared out, all the way around the inside edges of the garage to that back corner where the break is. And then once I have it cut and separated from the back foundation walls, I have the weight of the wall and the roof no longer on the actual slab itself, hoping the slab may then slide back into its position and the wall's pushing it down right now and displacing it the rest of the way. If not, I have 4.75 PCF strength terrathane that I'm going to inject under this corner of the slab to then begin lifting the slab up and bring everything back to level. And then I'm going to have to fill in the void after I cut 2 slits on that crack between the 2 slabs. And I'll slide in and tap in 2 pieces of rebar, and I'll do a cover patch over top of that with concrete. And then this will be a wrapped up job. Then I'll inject more polyfoam underneath those footings and make sure that structurally all those voids are filled in, and I've already chopped out every one of those roots that I could to separate the roots from growing further. So in terms of garage repair, structural polyurethane foam leveling, my first shot, without prior training and my own self-taught, I believe I'm doing not too bad. Oh, and I'm working by myself.